We're in the place they call the United Center in Chicago, the home of the Bulls, where today we'll be broadcasting live. Buckle yourselves in, everybody. It's the NBA on 2K Sports, and here with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. And now Washington's starting group. Wall and Beal together in the backcourt. Nene down low with Gortat. And it's Pierce in the small forward position.
Nene, I think, an underrated defensive player. Not a big shot blocker, but he has tremendous size and strength, and he can move laterally. So he can really move and cover the pick and roll and switch on to guards, an effective defender.
Butler attacking. Shot clock at 2. And Gasol with the lay-in. On defense, Chicago. And it's Pierce in the corner. It's good from about 19 feet.
Guys, you know, you're not going to hit that shot too often. That's high risk.
Now Rose. He dishes it to Gasol. Rose against Wall. And the foul on Derrick Rose. That's his first foul.
Great defense. He anticipated the play and got there first.
Yeah, I think he got there in time. Nice play.
Johnny Snell's checked in for Mike Dunleavy. And a switcher also for Washington. Humphries checked in. Off the inbound. And there's the nice layup by Gortat. Here is Rose. Outside Butler. Beal on the double team. Here's Gasol. And that's off the glass and in. Here is Wall. Outside Pierce. Here's Gortat. And he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
A high-quality shot is almost always going to come off a rebound like that.
And Clark, he is so good at working his way inside, holding off the defenders under the glass, and being in the right position.
Knows how to use his body.
Yeah, and I just like the way he persistently pursues the pumpkin.
How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
Washington's turnaround last year was in part in how they played on the road.
Yeah, they went from being a joke on the road, a non-factor really in 2013, to one of the better road teams in 2014. As a matter of fact, in the playoffs, they blitzed the Bulls on the road in that first-round series.
Good point. Chicago making a switch here. Gibson's checked in. Just over 2.5 minutes played here so far in the first quarter. Rose. And it's out of bounds. The Wizards will take it the other way. Porter's checked in for Pierce. Beal, that's for 2. And another miss by Washington.
A big 15-win difference for the Wizards on the road between 2013 and how they ended last year. It really was the catalyst for them getting into the playoffs. Now that is a quick bucket. Pretty good in transition.
That's right. That's exactly right. He loves when he gets the chance to get out and run. That's when he's at his best.
Chicago making a switch here. Moore's checked in.
And in the playoffs, you saw how good Washington can be on the road as the Wizards were able to go into Chicago to get wins in that series as well as take road wins away from Indiana.
They can't afford to give him that kind of look.
Well, it came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you got to fight over the top of that.
Now here's Beal. And Wall. Here we go now. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
John Wall at 6'4", with a 39-inch vertical leap and long arms to boot. is an elite physical specimen when it comes to the point guard position.
Mike Dunleavy, he's checked in for Tony Snell. And then for Washington, Nene, he's checked in for Humphries. And it's Butler in for Bradley Beal. Moore with it. He's picked up by Wall. No good from Moore. And Wall, a blur, guys, in the open court. Perhaps, Steve, perhaps the fastest player in the league end-to-end. He is devastating in transition.
Yeah, he's so tough to stop around the rim, even in the half court. But when he gets ahead of steam going, he can get into the lane and then finish with either hand. So, man, he is tough to stop.
Gasol kicks to Dunleavy. 6 on the shot clock. And that one's good. Washington's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Porter with the screen for Wall. Goes up from the top of the key. And that one's good.
He's such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
Butler kicks to Dunleavy. Wide open. And he gets the bucket. For Washington, they've gone 7 of 11 from the field to begin the game. Here's Wall. Wall with another miss.
You know, that mid-range jump shot is not his strong suit, even when he gets a good look like that.
And that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession.
Now, that pass had just a little bit too much heat on it for him to make a clean steal.
Yeah, I think it would have been a tough catch for either of them.
Mirotic is checked in for Chicago. Sessions checked in for the Wizards. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Otto Porter, the 3rd overall pick in last year's draft out of Georgetown, touted as one of the most NBA-ready players in the draft, but a hip injury cost him the first month of the season, and he never really could get into the rotation.
And Washington making a change here. Webster's checked in. And he gets it to go.
Back and forth we go. That basket gives us just another lead change.
And there have been too many of those to keep track of. What a contest.
Out of bounds, Washington takes possession. And for Otto Porter, not a consistent rotational player last season for the Washington Wizards, Clark. And given their spotty history in the draft, you'd forgive the fans for getting just a little bit nervous with this guy.
Yeah, you know what? I would tell the fans to be patient. I'm a little disappointed. I thought Otto Porter would emerge sooner than he has, but you can't give up on young players. He didn't shoot the ball well as a rookie. He did show you a versatile skill set with the Hoyas, so perhaps year 2 will be a better year for him.
Chicago making some changes. Tony Snell's checked in for Dunleavy. Heinrich comes in for Jimmy Butler. And it's Rose in for Brooks. And the Wizards making a change here as well. Pierce is checked in for Porter. Rose dishes to Heinrich. And he gets it to go.
I tell you what, the post play has been rock solid right off the bat.
Well, that's the key to basketball. Get the ball inside into the paint, either with a pass or with penetration.
Now here's Nene.
Nene, a 6'11" Brazilian big man, strong and quick-footed with a nice touch. And he's a quality two-way player. And for him, as it is the case with a lot of players, it's about health. You know, over the course of his 12-year career, he's missed almost a third of available games due to injury.
Rasul Butler's checked in for the Wizards. You talk about Nene's troubles at times staying on the court, Steve. Some say he's unwilling to play through pain.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the case. You know, all I know is that when he's healthy, he is one of the most effective big men in the NBA, and he had a terrific run in the playoffs last year, particularly in that Chicago series.
4 of their last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Yeah, that's textbook basketball, just having their way down low.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will retain possession. 9 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Bulls shooting their first free throws of this game.
And not a very strong free throw shooting team in general, guys. They shot 73% as a team a year ago.
And that just has to improve, guys. I mean, the free throw shooting is something that has to get better. You're immediately putting yourself at a disadvantage when you shoot that poorly from the line.
Pierce with a screen for Wall. Beal gets a wide open look. And good, coming off the assist by Wall. For three, Hinrich. All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And what stands out to you from Washington in this one?
Solid first quarter for this club. They came out strong, and they've put together some nice momentum here.
Steve, I like the looks they've gotten on offense. A lot of good ones.
Hinrich and Rose, the guards. Tony Snell is out there with Mirotic. And it's Noah in at the 5, roaming the paint. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. There's the pick. Rose goes in. They retain possession. Here's Wall. The kick out to Pierce. Humphries the pass to Seraphin. And he banks in the layup. Seraphin's got the lead, back up to 8 now for the Wizards.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
And even if it costs them some foul trouble, I mean, they need to start putting some bodies on bodies. Be physical.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to Doris Burke for an update. Hi, Doris.
Yes, Kevin, for Doug McDermott, he feels as though he's been overlooked a lot in his career, but he's learned to let it go, saying, "I've always had a chip on my shoulder because I didn't have any scholarship offers. It was more trying to prove people wrong early in my career. Now I feel like I've established myself, and I'm just playing for the love of the game." Good motivation, guys.
And the game's in his veins, don't you think, Doris? It's what he loves. Thank you. All with it. And Rose picks him up defensively. Shot by Seraphin, no good.
And often you can learn more about a team when they are unhealthy versus when they're at full strength. And last year I thought the Bulls showed they are not and have never been a one-man show. It's all about everybody contributing to that.
Ozzie Muhammad's checked in for the Bulls. E'Twaun Moore comes in for Rose. And then for Washington, Porter comes in for Pierce. And Sessions subbed in for John Wall.
As you said with the Bulls, there was a tendency to think that they were just Derrick Rose and 4 others, but top to bottom, this team has guys that can play.
And Sessions kicks to Nene. Outside for Beal. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call. And Washington making a change here. Butler's checked in. Butler against Butler. Butler dishes to Gasol. And he goes in for the dunk.
You know, he may lack grace, but his length makes up for it. He can still throw it down now.
Well, you don't have to be a fantastic leaper when you're his size.
Well, it's too bad because with a little more athleticism, can you imagine how dangerous he'd be underneath the boards?
With Rose out last year, Clark, as you said, the guys who are mostly role players showed what they can do.
Well, they're really unselfish at both ends of the floor, and that shows. I mean, they give great effort, they trust each other, they play together, and they always play hard, and they finish games strong, which I think is a credit to them and the coaching staff.
The offense just getting right to the rim, but at least they saved the layup with the fouls.
That's old school basketball rules. I mean, at the end of the day, no easy layup. Earn it from the line.
And the Wizards making a change here. And he makes both free throws. And you look at the Bulls, a bit of a different look for them, trading away Dang. They amnesty Carlos Boozer. It seems they're shuffling the deck.
No question about it. They bring in the Spanish League MVP and Nikola Mirotic. They've had some good draft choices as well, so a lot of new bodies for the Bulls.
To the inside. Banked in off the glass. And the Wizards lead by 4.
Nice pass. That one was right on target.
And it's rejected. But he recovers it. Kick out to Moore. Launches it. And that one's good. Moore's got 7 now in this quarter.
Beautiful ball movement again.
Last 5 trips, they've all ended with a great pass leading to a basket, Steve. I mean, they are really sharing the basketball.
Butler attacking. And the go-ahead bucket, no good. The Wizards have gone 5 of 7 from the field here in the second. Wizards passing it around. And here comes Moore leading the fast break. A three-pointer is right on target. Moore's got 14 points for the game. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for the Bulls.
They've come out in attack mode defensively, applying pressure and stealing the ball repeatedly.
They're crashing the offensive glass hard, too. I mean, they've dropped in several second-chance baskets.
Chicago making some changes. Taj Gibson's checked in for Muhammad. And Tony Snell subbed in for Mike Dunleavy. And a new group getting ready for the Wizards. Here's Nene. Lays it up and banks it in. Nene's got it all tied up now for the Wizards. And the first timeout of the game called for Chicago.
Gortat never really felt at home in Phoenix, it seemed, but he got a lot of his bounce back to his step when he was traded to the Wizards, where he was really a great fit alongside that young backcourt.
Butler kicks to Gasol. The shot is off. Now the Wizards take it the other way. It's stolen by Wall.
And another foul would give him 3 before the half, something to keep our eyes on.
Here's the pass to Nene. Tipped away. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it. And the Wizards trading Emeka Okafor and a draft pick for Gortat. Clark seemed like a pretty good move at the time.
Yeah, you know, Okafor had that season-ending injury. The Wizards making a push for the playoffs, and they were able to re-sign Gortat this offseason.
And there's Beal. That's good on the assist by Nene. And that's now 9 points here for Beal.
3 consecutive baskets have come right at the rim. The defense had better start buckling down and tightening up.
Yeah, they're getting exposed right now.
Here's Gortat. Tries again. Nene dishes the Wall. Outside Pierce. They shoot again. And it's finished off inside by Gortat. And now a 4-point Wizards lead.
They've got to continue to put pressure on the defense by probing inside. That's what's really working for them.
And when you're doing the job they are inside, it takes pressure off the perimeter guys.
Here's Beal. The finish. Butler with the block. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Wizards.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
We've also seen them do a great job of not letting easy shots go into the paint. A good amount of blocks for this team so far today.
So for the Bulls, Dunleavy comes in for Tony Snell. And it's Brooks in for Ejuan Moore.
They're getting a bunch of their points outside of the paint. 3 of their last 5 buckets are from three-point range.
But the defense isn't making them earn it. I mean, those shots have just come on easy, open looks.
Their interior defense has been dismal.
Yeah, and unfortunately, their offense in the paint hasn't been a whole lot better.
4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on John Wall. That is his first foul of the game. Mirotic. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. Nene setting the pick for Wall. Out to the wing. Here's Gortat. And that comes off the assist by John Wall. 8 points for Marcin Gortat. Heaves it up. The shot is off. Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. Bulls trail by 5. And on the floor for Randy Whitman as we get into the second half. Otto Porter and Nene at the forwards. Rasul Butler is out there with Wall. And it's Gortat in at center.
That's really told the story today, guys. I mean, throughout this game, they've been able to get the ball in tight and then finish.
Yeah, Clark, they've been more active and more physical down low, and I think that's been the difference. Well, the Wizards signed John Wall to that max contract extension last season, and he rewarded them. Made his first All-Star game appearance and led the team back to the playoffs for the first time in 6 seasons.
And a chance here to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Well, Kev, the Bulls coach Tom Thibodeau, known as one of the most demanding coaches in all the NBA, he said the teams that are special always play with a rare intensity. That's just how championship caliber teams play. He added, I don't think you really feel pressure if you're putting everything you have into each and every day. Sound strategy, Kevin.
He's one of the best getting that kind of effort from his players, Doris. Thank you. The Wizards at shot 60% from the line, 6 of 10.
And Wall finally adding a consistent three-pointer to his arsenal last season. He shot almost 4 threes a game and made them at a 35% clip.
The Bulls making a switch here. Snell's checked in. And a change for the Wizards. Humphries checked in. It's Noah with the drive. Here's Moore. Money from the wing. Moore's got 16. And Steve, defenders can't just go under on screens any longer defending John Wall.
Yeah, that outside shot keeps defenders honest, and it opens up driving angles and passing lanes for John Wall, who's one of the most explosive players in the league.
Butler attacking. Power down with both hands. Well, as far as the defense goes, Clark, that is not what's going to keep them in this lead.
Yeah, but from the other perspective, you can see just how much that dunk pumped those players up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I agree, guys. I sense a little bit of a momentum shift here.
Clock at 6. Porter kicks to Wall. Expanding his range. Offensive rebound. Here's Butler. Here's Humphries. And he jams it in.
Wonderfully instinctive play right there. Sense just where that rebound was going, and it becomes an easy 2 for him.
Well, Clark, maybe they've had too many easy buckets tonight.
Well, it's something that needs to change. I mean, they should not be getting all these easy dunks off offensive putbacks.
They get it back. Outside Butler. Right side, Butler. Here's Snell. Persistence pays off as they finally hit a shot.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any agenda.
It's hard to overstate all the points they've scored on assists today. Beautiful to watch.
So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Muhammad, he's checked in for Noah. Gasol comes in for Mirotic. Kirk Heinrich, he's checked in for Jimmy Butler. And it's Rose in for Moore. Wasted no time on that one. 14 points here for Beal.
And he came off that screen. The defense just couldn't get over the top. Beautiful play.
Yep, and without a hand in his face, he's going to bury those.
Here's Serafin. He feeds it to Nene.
It was predicted by many, and I count myself amongst those who felt the Wizards would take a nice step forward and be one of the surprise teams in the East. And they certainly didn't disappoint.
Here's Pierce. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Pierce has got the lead up to 9 now for the Wizards.
They ran that inbounds play perfectly there to get the quick hitter. Now that's finishing your work right there.
Powerful two-hand jam, you're right.
If he's got a few more of those in him, this lead will really start shrinking.
They get it back. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it.
Where was he going with that pass? I mean, that's just an awful turnover.
Brooks checked in for the Bulls. Out of bounds, Washington takes possession.
Where was he going with that pass? I mean, that's just an awful turnover.
Beal with the screen for Sessions. Nene, right side. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. Nene's got 7 points in the game. Bulls trail by 9. Muhammad with a screen on Sessions. Heinrich. That drops and it comes off an assist from Brooks. Heinrich's got his first 2 points.
He had a whole lot of space to get that shot.
Yeah, I don't think the defender did a good job there of getting over the top of the screen.
Chicago on defense. Snatched up. Sessions. Off target at the rim.
Well, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
Snell, no good. Wizards leading by 7. Serafin the pass to Sessions. And there's the foul. It'll go on Aaron Brooks. That's foul number 2 for him. Mirotic is checked in for Tony Snell. Passes it to Sessions. Here's Nene. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Well, the Bulls were expected to play a role in free agency this past summer with all the cap room they had. A lot of options in terms of which way they could have gone.
With the Bulls, it was thought that Melo or maybe even Wade could be one of their targets, but Clark, they opted to go big and bring in the former Laker Pau Gasol.
And you know what? To get Gasol in there might seem like overkill with Noah already manning the middle for Chicago, but I tell you what, his skill set will be a nice complement to Noah and the rest of that front line.
Along the front line, huh?
Big time.
And that's a foul called on Ramon Sessions. That is his first foul of the game.
Great defense. He anticipated the play and got there first.
Yeah, I think he got there in time. Nice play.
Rose, he's checked in for Brooks. Now, here is Mirotic. Back to Rose. Shot clock at 6. There it goes, it's in, and the Wizards' lead is cut down to 4 on the bucket from Pau Gasol.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Yeah, that's 5 of their last 6 baskets inside the lane. They have really established themselves inside.
Scooped up. Serafin. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Yeah, the referee's all over that one.
No doubt about it. Clearly a foul. Nothing to argue about there. This is a positive trend for him, especially here in the second half. Shooting just above 80% right now. And that's more than respectable. That's good free throw shooting.
Joakim Noah is checked in for Chicago. Chris Humphries has checked in for the Wizards. Wall comes in for Sessions. Bulls trailed by 6.
I'd like to see them go 2 for 1 here.
I would too. They need to make this a quick possession and a fruitful one too. They've been the glass eaters today, guys. A ton of effort out of them down low.
And they've needed every one of those rebounds. I think that's what's put them in front here.
Bulls making a switch here. Gibson's checked in. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Pau Gasol's checked in for Gibson. Tony Snell comes in for Mirotic. Butler, he's checked in for Kirk Hinrich. And it's E'Twaun Moore checking in for Rose. Then for the Wizards, Gortat's checked in for Kevin Serafin. And it's Nene in for Chris Humphries.
You know, the only tough part of that basket for him was getting into such good position. The rest seemed easy.
Moore with the steal. Here's Wall. Inside, Gibson and Noah. E'Twaun Moore is out.
Wow, what a throwdown. Yeah. Look at that athletic play. Incredible.
Wow.
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now.
Clark, there is a swagger out here on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
That's right.
Those are phenomenal dunks to watch. So much fun.
All with it. Butler covering. Here's Beal. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. Outside Butler. And he goes in for the dunk.
The defense just couldn't recover in time.
Yeah, the D pretty much went brain neutral on that one, Clark. Wouldn't
Yes,
you?
sir. I like that phrase.
Yeah, I don't use that phrase very often, but to me, that's what happened. He shifted the brain into neutral.
Yes, he did.
That was embarrassing.
We're seeing him bring that shooting percentage up now, guys. The first half was a struggle for him.
Fires the 3. Wizards leading by 8. Porter kicks to Beal. Goes up the baseline. Bulls have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the 4th quarter. Oh, took the contact and tried to throw it down over the top, but instead he'll shoot free throws. It's on Nene.
Well, he stopped the dunk there. That was about the only play he could make.
Well, you don't like the foul, but you don't like to give up an easy dunk either.
Tony Snell's checked in for Chicago. Rose comes in for E'Twaun Moore. The Wizards also changing it up. Pierce comes in for Porter. And Rasul Butler's subbed in for Beal. Gortat with the screen for Wall. It's stolen by Rose. Throws down off the coast-to-coast drive.
Really opportunistic basketball there. And when they desperately needed it, timely, opportunistic basketball.
Yeah, could not have come at a better time. And I'll tell you what, they've got to take even more chances defensively now to try to create some more steals. Boy, where was the box out? Too easy on that second chance opportunity.
Yeah, no box out is what happened there. Those kind of mistakes on the glass will kill a team.
Really tough to get that shot off with the size differential there. That's not an individual matchup he's going to win every time, especially in the post.
Very well done. I didn't think he had any business operating down there with the big fellas.
Here's Rose after Paul Pierce's score. And there's the call on Marcin Gortat. That's his first foul. Sessions checked in for the Wizards. Gibson inside. 5 on the clock. Count it, and the foul. It's on Nene.
You know, tired legs can affect you at the defensive end, and I think that's what's happening right here.
I agree, because as much offense as we saw early, we're seeing even more of it here late.
Sessions with a screen on Butler. And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession.
I tell you what, wandering aimlessly out of bounds like that might earn him a ticket to the bench.
Chicago making a switch here. Gasol's checked in. And it's Rose penetrating. Makes it off the glass. Rose has got 6 points in the quarter.
Boy, you don't expect to get opportunities that easy coming down the stretch of a tight game.
Outside, Pierce. Nene with it. Gasol covering. Here's Snell. Pierce covering. And there's the 3-second violation.
You cannot afford to make mistakes like that here in a tight game.
Sessions sets the pick for Pierce. Here's Gortat. Up off the screen.
This is some kind of performance we're seeing from him today. He has yet to miss a shot.
Rose attacking. And the basket good.
And he's been exactly what they needed here in the fourth.
Boy, he looks like a dangerous man. I mean, he's made all 4 of his shots this quarter so far.
Now here's Pierce. Back to Butler. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup.
Unbelievable basket. What a huge height disadvantage. I thought for sure it would be blocked.
Oh, how about that basketball, man? Beautiful. Wow. Talk about putting something extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, Clark, you know, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space.
Still, I mean, startling that he'd even try that right now.
Boy, guys, they've shown some great passing on their last few trips down the floor. Excellent.
Yeah, that's 4 straight trips, guys, where their passes have ended up in scores. 4 straight assists. Great team play.
And the wide open shot from Rose. And they're unable to get the time basket there.
They definitely had the advantage inside. Another big grab a moment ago.
And the foul on Derrick Rose. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Dunleavy's checked in for the Bulls. Bradley Beal's checked in for Washington. Hall comes in for Sessions.
Beautiful work in the transition game.
That's how to do it. Attack early before the defense can get itself set. Outside, Wall.
It's Beal on the wing. The Wizards with another miss. Chicago trailing here. Inside to Gasol. Oh, hammered! And he'll go to the line.
Some good numbers for Gasol. He has 14 points, and what a force on the boards, taking over on the glass.
Well, at this point, just stay out of his way, guys. I mean, he is dominating the paint.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Gibson comes in for Joakim Noah. And Moore subbed in for Rose. Chris Humphries has checked in for Washington. Beal dishes to Humphries. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Well, they had a foul to give, but they couldn't get it done before that shot attempt.
Yeah, and giving up free throws isn't ideal here, Steve. You know that, but at least they've got the clock stopped.
So he gets them both, and it's a 2-point ball game.
Nicely done. Without much separating these teams, that's when you have to make good at the line.
They set the screen.
And that is the shot of the game.
Well, he's got the guts and courage to take it and the skill to make it.
6-second difference between the shot and game clock. It's Beal on the wing. Money!
Big bucket. They've got to play for a stop here with the 2-point lead. No open threes.
Well, Chicago's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. So the first one drops, and that narrows the gap to 1. And so Moore nails both of them.
Incredible composure at the line to tie it up and give them a chance to get it to overtime.
Humphrey sets a pick for Wall. Beal, that's for 2. We've got overtime action now, folks. Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, Doris Burke on our sideline, and this is Kevin Harlan. And so off the tip, it's Washington's ball. And no shortage of excitement here, and we're officially underway in overtime in this game. All fueled up and ready to go to overtime basketball here, brought to us by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. So on the floor for Washington, Wall and Beal together in the backcourt. Chris Humphries is out there with Pierce, and it's Gortat in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
Boy, you wonder what the score of this game would be if they weren't pulling down all these rebounds.
Love what I'm seeing from them in the paint.
It's Beal on the wing. And so it looks like Washington will retain possession here. Some changes for Chicago. Joakim Noah is checked in for Gasol. And Mirotic subbed in for Tony Snell. And a change for the Wizards. Nene, he's checked in for Chris Humphries.
And what a game for Gortat. 12 points, and he hasn't forgotten to get his teammates involved either.
Well, that's important, Clark. I mean, he's conscious of the fact that moving the ball around gets the defense to move. It forces them to work, and it creates a better offensive flow for his own team.
Derrick Rose is checked in for Moore. And he sinks the second. And Chicago has possession. It's a 3-point game. Inside. Here's Butler. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. 16 points for Butler. Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over. Changes for Chicago. Mike Dunleavy, he's checked in for Mirotic. Heinrich comes in for Jimmy Butler. And it's Brooks in for Rose. And a change for the Wizards. Kevin Seraphin. He's checked in for courtside. Offensive rebound.
You gotta like the defense not quitting on the play and getting a hand in the face.
Sure do. With a tough defender breathing down your neck, that makes it not an easy shot.
The defenders need to talk to each other. The communication lacking there on that three-pointer.
Wall passes to Seraphin. But they'll get another chance. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it.
Huge turnover there, and at a bad time, too. You have to value every possession.
Some changes for Chicago. Saul comes in for Taj Gibson. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for Aaron Brooks. Rose attacking. Dishes it to Gasol. Wall with the steal. And finished off by Beal.
Boy, their defense making an impact here late, Kevin.
And straight off the steal, Clark, the perfectly run fast break ends in the slam dunk.
That could be a huge 4-point swing in this game.
Just about 2 minutes in now to this overtime period. What a game. Beal with the steal.
They're losing their concentration here, guys. Some sloppy play going on right now.
Yep, 2 turnovers in a row for them. That's a recipe for disaster.
Nene gets the front of the rim and out. Pass to Gasol. Takes it from 10. Washington with the rebound. Game could be on the line right here.
It's basically now or never for them.
A tough position. And a big play there to mute the crowd.
Yeah, that one kind of took all of the life out of them there, Kevin.
Kind of quieted the voices in here, didn't it?
Out left to the wing. Nails it. And that shot brings them to within just one. Huge shot there, and the crowd, Clark, knows it.
Complete euphoria there, Kevin. They're going crazy.
You talk about some happy people, man. These fans are fired up. Yeah, you can't let them pound the ball and just milk those precious seconds away.
No other option here but to foul and hope for a few misses at the line. Well, Kev, that took forever. I don't know what took them so long, but the coaching staff can't be pleased with that right now.
Second one is good. Hitting both at the line, and it's a three-point game.
Absolutely massive free throws. That'll force them into a three-point attempt.
Noah with a screen on Wall. And so it's Washington who scraped by with the win. You know, Clark, they couldn't put him away in regulation, but after a superb performance in overtime, they managed to get the job done.
Yeah, just an amazing game, but they pulled away at the end.
Thanks for joining us for this presentation of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. For Doris Burke, Steve Kerr, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying see you next time. But first, let's check out the Jordan Player of the Game.